Shout out to my server Brooke. Also, not sure if you can hear any of what I'm saying since I'm talking at a low level because I don't want to be a giant douche by vlogging to myself while wine tasting. And I don't have a windsock, and my mic's not here. Welcome back to Rewind with bschwitty, because gung hey fat joy. We're here at Claiborne Churchill Winery doing tasting to see what tasting is like in 2021. We talked to Hal last week about what tasting has evolved into since the coronavirus pandemic started, but we didn't get to taste, so, or at least not in a traditional sense. So I'm here at Edna Valley Vineyard called Claiborne Churchill, which makes great Gewürztraminer, Riesling, and Pinot Noirs, and Syrahs, but they're known for their whites. And here to taste. Cheers. So the first one I'm tasting is the 2019 Dry Gewürz. It has notes of lychee, pineapple. Beautiful, beautiful nose. Little apricot on there. It's quite delicious. So, fun thing about tasting here is that they bring you all your tastes at once, which is nice on a cool day. So you can, once you're done with your first wine, you can move on to your next. I'm going to Alright, so I got an extra pour. This is their 2019 Pinot Grigio, 100% neutral oak. Crisp and refreshing after that Gewürz. It's very light, it's nice. Kind of a slight tangerine note on the finish. I think the only downside to tasting by myself in the pandemic, or this way in the pandemic, is that I don't have a way to gauge when to slow down. Next up, 2019 Chardonnay. It's the last of our whites today. That's nice. This one, fermented in tank, finished in neutral oak. So you get a lot of the apple fruit characteristics of Chardonnay. Not too much oak, but just like a kiss of it. Some stone fruit on there too, peach. A little lemon. Some minerality to it as well. Very pleasant. Alright, now we're moving on to our reds. This is a 2018 Twin Creeks Pinot Noir. I've been told that this is a great vintage for Pinot for Claiborne Churchill. They have multiple vineyards that they source fruit from, as well as the state that I'm aware of. Good red fruit, fruitful on the nose, a little bit of oak on the palate. Very nice. Elegant would be a word for it. Go well with some heartier fish. I don't know why I keep saying heartier fish this week. Salmon. Go great with salmon. Alright, this one is the Runestone Pinot Noir. Another fruit-forward Pinot, but you can smell a little bit more minerality to this one. A little bit more complex, at least on the nose. Definitely more of a medium body. A little bit more oak. Finishes off with a nice kind of elegant mouthfeel, a little extra creaminess, maybe of vanilla. Or maybe it's just French oak. I love oak. Although apparently both this Pinot and the previous were done in 30% new French oak, 10 months in barrel. That's quite nice. Good mouthfeel. Definitely heavier than the previous one, which is obviously why it's next on the tasting menu. But yeah, I like that. And so we got an extra pour. Thank you, Brooke. This is their 2018 Green Gate Ranch Pinot. This is actually from right across the street. A little bit more earthy than the previous two. And it's a bigger mouthfeel. A little mushroomy, but not overwhelming. It's not old world by any means. Definitely darker fruit. A little astringency forward, kind of a greenness to the fruit, which carries through the mid palate, but by the finish, you're just left with the tannins. Yeah, that's a fun Pinot. Definitely darker fruit than the previous two. The other ones are red. This is more in like a blue or black fruit. Getting huckleberry, blackberry, more on that side of the berry family. And finally, we're finishing off our tasting today with the 2018 Edna Valley Syrah. Whoa. Obviously, that's a shock to the system after 3 Pinots. Definitely the heaviest wine so far. More blue, black fruit. It is more tannic than the last Pinot. Again, just the touches of astringency. I think Edna Valley is a more cool climate growing area, so you're going to have a hint of astringency depending on when those grapes come off. Blackberry, blueberry, some oak. Almost tastes a little bit of American oak on there. It's not as delicate as the Pinots are, and I don't know if it's from barrel or just obviously from the difference in fruit. Kind of a little more jammy, fruit leathery on the finish. Not bad. Again, don't know if you can hear me. I'm just mumbling to myself as I look like a crazy person in public. Fun. So that was our wine flight at Claiborne Churchill Winery. So things to remember about going wine tasting right now is that you're going to be set outside. So make sure it's a cat day or not like entirely too hot or raining. That's very important on both ends. You're going to want to stay socially distant. That's why these safeguards are in place. I know Claiborne Churchill really take some extra measures to make sure they're safe. I believe after a table's used, they don't use it again for at least 30 minutes. Obviously, they do all the cleaning things. They're wearing masks, which you can still have a personal conversation with someone that's 6 feet away from you wearing a mask in this environment, which is really nice. Also, as a courtesy, anytime your server is nearby, wear a mask if you're able to. If you're not in the middle of a sip, if you're looking to have an extended conversation, throw a mask on. Try to think of them. This has been an interesting experience. I like that they have the wine in like a beer taster set so that you can go at your own pace, which honestly I wish wine tasting was like when I'm by myself tasting at the bar, because it's you can set your own pace. You don't have to wait for your server to come back to go on to the next thing. Brooke was very good at explaining exactly what he thought I would be interested in about the wines from the beginning. Good experience, highly recommend it. So that's it for week 2 of Rewind with bschwitty. I am happy to be back. Remember, you can find us rewindshow.com. which will take you to my YouTube page, where you can watch all the things from season 3. Find me on Instagram at Rewind Show and on Twitter at bschwitty. This has been Rewind. My name is bschwitty. This is Claiborne Churchill. Thank you so much for having me. And I will catch you next week.